Hello, I'm Jessica Morris with the Houde School of Acting, and today I want to talk about the movie of the week. The movie of the week is Conclave, directed by Edward Berger, starring Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, and Isabella Rossellini. There's so many more stars, and it's a phenomenal film. I would highly recommend it. There's so much rich behavior in this film. You can study and study and study and learn so much from it. So let me talk a little bit about the interviews that I watched and what the actors had to say about this film. So Rafe had mentioned that he focused so much on behavior. He said his goal is to talk as less as possible. Clearly he has the lines, but to really show how he feels through his behavior and his facial expressions. And he said for him, it's more about what happens between the lines. And that was what his focus. And I even watched an interview with him saying, you know, back in the day, I used to think that acting is about pretending and playing these characters that you hide behind. And he said, and the more I grow as an actor, I realize that I have to find it in myself first. It comes from me first, and then we can add on those little characterizations. But ultimately, it's coming from myself. And I thought that was brilliant because this is what we talk about all the time. You know, we have to find the justification in ourselves before we can then go ahead and really live this character as fully as possible. We have to find our laugh. We have to find our way of doing it. It's really important to be grounded in ourselves first. So a couple other things that I thought were really, really interesting. So the director was talking about how he works with many, many stars and they are all scared. He said, it's important for you as viewers to know, as actors, that celebrities get scared. He said that there was a scene, and if you watch the film, it's a really great scene where Isabella has to stand up as the head nun. She stands up in front of all of the men, and she says at one point, she explains something, but I don't want to give the film away if you haven't seen it, but she has a really long monologue. And he said that he could hear her heartbeat before she started. And she kind of looked at him because they were in an interview together, and the guy interviewing said, "Is that true?" And she sort of smiled and said, "Yeah." And the director said, "Of course it's true. You don't understand. This is scary for us. It should be, because that means that we want to be good. You know, we really want to deliver this correctly." And he said, "It's important for you all to know that we all get scared, but we still do it, and we do the best we can, and we live it as fully as possible." And he said, "Hey, I wake up every morning scared. Am I going to be able to capture what I want to capture? This is a good thing for us to be scared because it means that we care." And when we talk about these films, you know, every week I watch the actors talk about, I want to do scenes that scare me. I want to, because that means I'm challenging myself, I'm growing as a person, as an actor, and it's fun. And so that's something that we should keep in mind as well. Stanley Tucci also had talked about he loved working with Rafe because they had so many moments where they said something without actually talking. And this is so important. It's what we talk about all the time, right? One of my favorite quotes, which I'm always telling you guys, behavior first, words secondary, James Caan. So important to keep that in mind. We really have to feel. When I explain in my class, you know, when something traumatic happens to us as human beings, if we receive some sort of news, right? What happens? Someone tells us something. We first take it in, we feel it, then we allow ourselves to express, and then we talk. As actors, a lot of times we do the opposite. When something gets said to us, it's like, boom, my words, I need to talk. Instead, allow yourself to take it in, feel, express, then talk. And this is what Rafe and Stanley said. They really enjoyed working with each other because they were able to really have that communication without words. And I cannot stress that enough. You guys need to understand how important it is to feel, to express, and then the words. Okay, once again, movie of the week, Conclave. Excellent film. I would highly recommend watching it. So much great behavior and emotion in it. See you next time. Again, if you'd like to join us for a free online class or in-person class, click the link below.